Have you ever imagined that everything we know about humanity's origin is only half the story? What if powerful beings from another world influenced ancient civilization? For centuries, there have been debates about whether the human race was created by extraterrestrial beings who came from the heavens to shape our history. These beings are known as the Anunnaki, but were these gods just myths? Or could they have been real, with advanced knowledge and technology that even today we can't fully understand? In this video, we'll explore the story of the Anunnaki and how they might have influenced human history. Who are the Anunnaki? The Anunnaki were a group of gods in ancient Mesopotamian mythology. Their stories come from civilizations like the Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians. These gods were said to have incredible power, controlling the world, creating humanity, and governing natural forces like storms, water, and fertility. In Sumerian belief, the Anunnaki were said to have descended from the sky. One version says the term Anunnaki comes from Anu, the father of the gods, meaning children of Anu, or those who came from the sky. Another belief is that the name comes from the Sumerian words An, meaning ski, and Ki, meaning earth, with the Anunnaki being the result of the union between Anu, the sky god, and Ki, the earth goddess. Anu was the king of all the gods, and his children included some of the most powerful deities: Enlil, the god of air and storms, and Enki, the god of wisdom and creation. The goddess Inanna, or Ishtar, was also known for love, fertility, and war. These gods didn't just control nature, they were said to also shape humanity's fate, determining who lived and who died. But the most important figures in the story of the Anunnaki are Enlil and Enki, whose rivalry affects humans' destiny. As the firstborn and the most authoritative of Anu's sons, Enlil ruled over Earth and was responsible for maintaining order. He was the god of air, storms, and the sky, and his rule was strict. Enlil followed the divine laws closely and saw humans as little more than servants for the gods. His leadership was centered around order and control. Enki, on the other hand, was different. While Enki was also mighty, being the god of wisdom, water, and creation, he had a softer side toward humans. Unlike Enlil, who viewed humanity as a lower race meant to serve, Enki saw potential in humans. He appreciated their intelligence, creativity, and spirit. He even defied his brother Enlil several times to protect and help humanity. This difference in attitude between Enlil and Enki is central to many of the stories about the Anunnaki. It explains the events surrounding the creation of humanity and the Great Flood, both key events in Sumerian mythology. According to Sumerian myth, the gods didn't create humans out of love. Instead, the Anunnaki needed workers. The gods were originally responsible for maintaining the earth, but over time, the lower gods grew tired of doing all the hard work. It was then that the idea of creating humans was born. The gods decided to create a race that could relieve them of their tasks. Enki, along with the mother goddess Ninhursag, took on the task of creating the first humans. The first man, called Adamu, was made from clay, and his body was infused with the blood of a rebellious god who had been sacrificed. This gave humanity both divine traits and a duty to serve the gods. While Enlil saw humans as mere workers, Enki saw them as more. He valued their intelligence and creativity and often stepped in to protect and help them, even when it meant defying the will of his brother Enlil. One of the most well-known stories involving the Anunnaki is the Great Flood. As the human population grew, so did the noise and disturbance they created. The humans became so numerous and loud that they annoyed the gods, especially Enlil, who was responsible for maintaining order on Earth. Enlil became frustrated with humanity and decided that the only solution was to wipe them out completely. He sent a great flood, hoping that it would cleanse the earth and restore peace for the gods. But Enki, once again, couldn't bear to see humanity destroyed. He secretly warned a man named Zusudra, known as Atrahasis in other versions, about the coming disaster. Enki told him to build a large boat and bring his family and animals aboard to survive the flood. This story is very similar to the story of Noah's Ark in the Bible, where God warns Noah of an impending flood and instructs him to save himself, families, and the animals by building an ark. After the flood, Enlil was furious to discover that humans had survived. However, Enki convinced him to spare humanity. He argued that the gods still needed humans to work and maintain the earth. Reluctantly, Enlil agreed, and humans were allowed to repopulate the world. But the gods imposed stricter controls on their lives, especially on reproduction. This marked a turning point in the relationship between the gods and humanity. While Enlil continued to rule harshly, he accepted that humans were now part of the world. Enki, on the other hand, continued to nurture and protect humanity, offering them knowledge and guidance. After the flood, Enki played a key role in helping humanity rebuild. He taught humans important skills like farming, writing, and building, allowing them to create a new civilization. Because of his wisdom and generosity, Enki became a beloved figure, much like Prometheus in Greek mythology, who gave fire to humanity. Enki's influence on humanity continued, and because of him, humans were able to develop agriculture, cities, and advanced societies. His role in shaping human culture made him a hero in many myths, contrasting with his brother Enlil, who continued to rule with a firm hand. While this story agrees with many interpretations of the Anunnaki, there are other and more controversial interpretations of the Anunnaki myth. One of these interpretations was proposed by Zecharia Sitchin, a journalist who introduced a new way of understanding the Anunnaki. He helped to popularize the idea that the Anunnaki were not just mythological gods, but real extraterrestrial beings who played a role in shaping human history. His stories were quite different in some areas and created a lot of controversy. In his book series, The Earth Chronicles, Sitchin gave another interpretation and said that the Anunnaki were visitors from a distant planet called Nibiru. According to Sitchin, Nibiru has an elongated orbit around the Sun and only comes close to Earth once every 3,600 years. Sitchin believed that the Anunnaki came to Earth in search of gold, a precious resource they needed to stabilize the atmosphere of their planet. When they arrived, they enslaved early hominids and genetically modified them to create modern humans. These humans were intelligent enough to mine gold for their masters. Sitchin's theory also includes the idea that ancient nuclear weapons were used by the Anunnaki. He believed that the destruction of several ancient cities, like Sodom and Gomorrah, was caused by a nuclear event. According to Sitchin, the conflict between Enki and Enlil over interbreeding with humans led to this war. He argued that references in ancient texts, such as the Book of Genesis and Sumerian tablets, hinted at such events. In Sitchin's narrative, Enki had a fatherly relationship with humans, often protecting them from his brother Enlil. He claimed that Enlil, angry at Enki for diluting the Anunnaki bloodline through interbreeding with humans, ordered a series of attacks on humanity. These attacks included the Great Flood and the destruction of the Tower of Babel. Sitchin even speculated that the final attack came in the form of a nuclear strike that destroyed 5 cities in the Jordan Plain, including Sodom and Gomorrah. This event, according to Sitchin, led to the downfall of both the Sumerian civilization and the Anunnaki's presence on Earth, including the destruction of their supposed spaceport in the Sinai Peninsula. Although Sitchin's ideas have gained a large following among those who believe in ancient astronaut theories, his work has been widely
Dismissed by mainstream scholars. Many historians argue that his interpretations of Sumerian texts, like the Enuma Elish and the Epic of Atrahasis, are inaccurate. However, despite the controversy, Sitchin's work has influenced many books, documentaries, and conspiracy theories that suggest the Anunnaki were not just responsible for humanity's creation, but may still be influencing human affairs today. Whether you believe the Anunnaki were gods, aliens, or simply myths, their impact on the story of humanity is undeniable. The stories of Enlil and Enki and their role in creating and shaping humanity have left a lasting mark on ancient mythology. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to follow us for more content on ancient myths and legends you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.